Who are the original pimps? There's a saying that prostitution is the oldest profession, but I would dispute that. Pimping is the oldest profession. There is a misconception that pimps are people who recruit and schedule prostitutes, when in reality, pimps are men who manufacture prostitutes. And so today we will explore the concept of religious prostitution, sacred prostitution, temple prostitution, cult prostitution, and religious prostitution are purported rites consisting of paid intercourse performed in the context of religious worship. Isn't it amazing how you can take a word like prostitution and put sacred in front of it, and all of a sudden people think it's something good? It kind of reminds me of another phrase, holy war. Isn't it amazing how we can take these insidious institutions of abuse, power, and control and put a pretty religious word in front of it, and all of a sudden it becomes something good? Sacred prostitution and holy wars go hand in hand, of course. Historically, mainstream historiography has considered it a probable reality, although it has proved harder to differentiate between true prostitution and sacred sex without remuneration. Wow. So if you enslave someone, rape them, force them to be a prostitute, and in your temple, force them to have sex with anyone who comes in, which I'm sure that will make your religion popular, won't it? If you do that, it's sacred sex. If you don't pay them for that. If you don't pay your sex slaves, it's sacred sex. However, it's true prostitution if they get any money for it. So, you can already notice that you are reading a biased article. And so that's how they sell it. They sell it as a form of female empowerment. However, what do the facts say about Sumerian society and the goddesses and priestesses of the temple Inanna, Ishtar, Isis? What status did those prostitutes really have in society? Let's find out. The status and role of women in ancient Sumer. Abstract. Sumerian society was a warrior society, epitomized by its epic hero Gilgamesh. In such societies, especially during their heroic age, male dominance was usually exhibited. Thus, the assembly was an assembly of male warriors, and the council was a council of male clan elders. Women were not represented at the popular assembly. They could not hold land. And so, when they tell you about the high status of the prostitutes in the temple, what does this high status actually consist of? It's just propaganda. The same way people like Beyonce and Britney Spears seem today to have high status. They're worshipped, aren't they, by so many people as goddesses, and yet what power do they really have? So it is with the temple priestesses in the sacred prostitution. Now, as you can quickly see from this, sacred prostitution appears in various places: ancient Near East, Tigris and Euphrates, Sumer, Babylonia, Akkadian, Hittites, Phoenicia, Hispania, Hebrew, Carthage, ancient Greece, Minoan Crete, Hellenistum, Pontus, Cyprus, Alpaca, Rome, India, Japan, Indonesia, South America, Maya, Aztec, Inca. Some parts of Indian state have the practice of hieroglific prostitution with a similar customary form such as basavi, and involves dedicating prepubescent and young adolescent girls from villages in a ritual marriage to a Hindu deity or a Hindu temple, who then work in the temple and function as spiritual guides, dancers, and prostitutes, servicing male devotees in the temple. So there's something else I need to talk about here, and they're only really mentioning it for Maya, Aztec, and Inca, but believe me, all these other solar cults have this behind the scenes too. It's particularly, as we know, Greece. But as I said before, you're reading a biased article,